Hey, it's somebody like you, your personal mental health coach. Today we're going to talk about regulating your nervous system. And if you don't know what that means, all that is taking your fight or flight and calming it down a little bit. We'll get into a little bit of what that means and how to do that. But first, we need you to check in with yourself right now. How are you feeling? How's it feel in your body? Are your shoulders tense? Is your jaw really tight? Right? Do you feel yourself kind of tingling a little bit? That's the first step. How's your breathing? I ask you these things because this is all stuff that we do to check in to know whether our nervous system is regulated or dysregulated. One thing to check in with yourself about is your breathing. A lot of times when we're breathing, we're taking a lot of big inhales. And if you're doing that, what you're doing is you're just signaling to your body that you need to survive. You need to fight something. There's a threat present. So if you want to think about that for a minute, it's the more oxygen we take in, it's signaling to the brain that we need more oxygen to go through the body to survive something. The problem is a lot of times when we're in a safe place, whether it be at home, surrounded by friends and family, or if we're at a familiar place, that could be work or maybe the playground or wherever it is, all of a sudden, we don't know why we're feeling unsafe anymore. And the mind and the body are no longer speaking the same language. They're no longer tuned in to the same radio station. So the big common thread between that to connect them back together is our breath. So if you did your little body scan and you're like, I don't really know. Are you exhaling more than you're inhaling? Are your exhales longer than your inhales? And if not, it's nothing to worry about right now. But it's something to check in with. Because all the dysregulated nervous system talk you hear, whether it be on other content or other places, all that's saying to you is there's a system in your body. It's called the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the fight or flight, the fawn and freeze responses that you might be more familiar with. That's all the sympathetic nervous system is. And what we want to do by that longer exhale is activate the opposite of that, which is called the parasympathetic nervous system. All that means is that activates the rest and the digest. It allows the body to rest and digest. So what we're looking to do is take the sympathetic nervous system that's really active right now, once again, fight or flight, and we're looking to just even it out with the parasympathetic, which is just the rest and digest. And how do we do that? The first thing I will always tell people to do is concentrate on the breath. And when I say concentrate, I mean just bring your awareness to it. Now, the quickest way to do it, now this doesn't mean it's instant, but the quickest way is what we call the physiological sigh. And what you do is you breathe in through your nose, and as you get close to the top, you do another sharp inhale. So it looks like this. And then you exhale all of the air out of your lungs. I'm talking about all the way until it's like you're talking like this. And what we'll do is that 3 times. So do one with me right now. All the way out. Keep going. Keep going. And I'll do that again, right? So that's what say 2 or 3 times. And that's one of the quickest ways to activate the vagus nerve or the vagus brake, which is fancy terminology saying that's what's going to help you start regulating and activating that parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest. But remember, checking in with yourself, because there's other ways to do this too. There's other forms of breathing. You have 4-7-8 techniques, which is in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. You have box breathing, which is holding for 4 or inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, holding for 4, and repeating, right? There's other things like temperature play. What you can do is put your face in cold water. What I like to do, because sometimes if you're out in public, I like to rub my hands under the sink with as cold as the water gets. I like to do that for about a minute. You can pay the people for their water bill later. But it's those type of things. And the whole point is just to bring your attention back to the sensations and your awareness back. Now, I don't do too much temperature work only because what I think and what I believe, and this is, everyone has their own cup of tea here. I like to teach my nervous system that it doesn't rely on other things to regulate it. So you hear sometimes people take like Sour Patch Kids and put it in their mouth to calm themselves from anxiety or panic attacks. While that does work, what I have learned is that teaches the body and the mind to rely on something else. So if you don't have Sour Patch Kids or you don't have access to cold water at the time or anything like that, you don't know what to do, and the body kind of goes into a further anxious state. So I always say bring it back to the breathing. The physiological sigh is one of my favorites. And if not, this is my go-to, whether I'm meditating or whatever it is, it's I do this. I breathe in and I just do this on my hands. And then when I exhale, I do it twice. So as I'm going through, I'm still exhaling all the way through. And all that does is have you breathe in for a count of 4 and you double it as an exhale for a count of 8. And what you'll start noticing, if you do that for about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, you're going to start noticing over the course of the preceding 10 minutes, you're going to start to regulate and feel a little bit calmer. That's because that parasympathetic nervous system started to activate and come online, and it started to counteract your fight or flight, your sympathetic nervous system. So not only in this session of this mental health coaching session have you learned what nervous system deregulation is, you've learned about the sympathetic nervous system, you've learned about the parasympathetic nervous system, you learned about the vagus nerve and the vagus brake a little bit, and a lot of things to go along with how to help you. Now, if you're looking for more details of how to do the breathing techniques and stuff like that, let me know. I'm happy to make videos, or you can find a wonderful amount of breathing content creators that resonate with you on here. One thing to remember is this does not replace professional help, and I always encourage you finding a professional that you trust, a therapist, a professional doctor, counselor, anything like that, because this does not replace any of that medical advice. This is just a certified mental health coach helping the best they can on the internet. And remember, the name says it all. I'm just somebody like you. I've gone through this as well. And my hope is that this reaches people and helps people along the way. If you can help by liking, subscribing, and maybe sending this to someone who it might help, I'd really appreciate it. As always, I'm somebody like you, and I'm sending love. Take care.